Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Saying that you're the best, you gotta show me son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
First in the building, NO on deck. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate everyone pulling up. Big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official. You already know Ray Sanders in the building. On deck with it. What's good, WCS? What's good, man? Sammy, salute to you, brother. Boxing God 7 on deck. Just clocked out. Got some entertainment on my way home. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Real talk. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? As long as it can be some type of entertainment value, especially getting off the job, man, clocking out. You know what I'm saying? It's Wednesday too. You know what I'm saying? It's Wednesday. You just completed Wednesday. We had Thursday. You know what I'm saying? We closer to another end of the week, man. You know what I'm saying? God damn, time flies. Stops for no man. Carlos Rosado on deck, man. What it do? WCS salute A-Side official. Salute to the hottest chat in the MFing game. Yes, sir, indeed, man. Salute to y'all who pulling up. Hit the like button when you come in the building. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about a topic that I'm saying to myself, man, this just don't stop. It will never stop, man. Only because people don't want it to stop. They don't want to sanitize the area. They want to continue to be as filthy as it is. You know what I'm saying? And you can't continue to think people are going to treat you with, you know, that etiquette that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? When you keep on putting out dirty, you know what I'm saying, unethical, you know what I'm saying, filtrated sewer system, freaking garbage, seeping sewage type media, bro. This is what we get in the YTC. And unfortunately, we're going to talk about, in my opinion, how certain people run with narratives. And if you was in an environment, right, where you had all this experience and tenure, if you was to run with a narrative that brought down a company or put them in a position to take losses, then you will be held accountable. And that's in the corporate world. That's for those of you that's out there doing what you do. You will be held accountable for sure. If you went out there and passed something off to the point where it deterred other outside entities or businesses from basically sponsoring or contributing to what your corporation had, and you was found out to be that person, the source of it all, you will be fired or demoted. You know what I'm saying? Big blunts and boxing in the building, man. What's good with it? On deck, yes, sir. We in here. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo, aka Hot Grease Official. What it do, Gumbo? On deck. Salute WCS, my big bro. Rosado Big Blunts, MD Mills in the building. These dudes never learn. They never learn, man. And who are we? We have to be the ones to teach them. You know what I'm saying? We have to be the ones to teach them because, each one teach one. They say it take a village, not necessarily for people who already been in the village for quite some time. It should be mature there. It should be maturity there. You know what I'm saying? It don't take a village to raise a freaking adult. God damn it! This shit has gotten out of hand. Y'all hold on 1 minute. All right, let's get down to it, right? So, if you already have been paying attention, man, over the last couple of weeks, several months, the build up to this, right? And I gave you kind of like an overlay of everything that's been taking place. And first of all, I want to be perfectly clear, man. I know and understand that I'm talking to some intelligent human beings in the chat, right? So so if you hear me break some down, simplicity, I mean, as simplistic as it can be, I'm not speaking in a manner for which you may feel that, you know, um, is denigrating or something like that. I am only providing you with an explanation. Okay, that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing, man. Providing an explanation in the most simple, basic way possible. And some of these scenarios and your analogies, those you hung around at WCS, it can sometimes be sarcastic. But let's try to build this up the right way. So when we're talking about strictly Devin Haney and the Shakur Stevenson situation, two people at one point in time in life were pretty cordial with one another, respect. They came up, they was down there in the boxing ranks together, and they was building up. You know what I'm saying? They was climbing that ladder, bro. And they was pretty much taking the same flights, man, in boxing. Shakur Stevenson had a much more higher elevation, of course, because he was an Olympian, silver standard champion. So that's to be respected, right? So going into the professional ranks, man, both of these guys have did what they had to do. Shakur Stevenson, like we said, he took off a little bit faster, landed at the 126 pound, 130, did what he had to do, pick up some chips. Devin, it took a little bit longer, but staying in the game, he ended up getting his shot and picked up his belts. Now, why would you think, after all that we've been able to witness with both of these fighters, not so much with Shakur Stevenson now. Shakur Stevenson's been a part of these little micro conversations, right? Where, sparring is always one of those amplified moments where a fighter dip back into the past and say, hey, man, we was coming up. So-and-so sparred, this and that. They talk about sparring. But it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, some of these infamous sparring matches, these fighters don't even fight each other in the professional ranks for crazy ass reason. Now, if you follow them in the Olympics sometime, it might, but even that, it's amazing how that shit works. But moving on, it was some back and forth, sparring going back and forth online of who got the best of who in sparring, just like it was with Gervonta Davis. Just like, you heard recently about, Crawford and whatever sparring they want to talk about. It's been certain fighters they pick out, as linking up with this fighter and who got the best of who. But in this scenario, right, when you run into certain people and you on good terms, that shit can expire, up the line. Boxing is hard, man. Like in the military, man, boxing is fucking hard to maintain good, solid circles. Because if you are in the game, man, and you're anywhere close to possibly being in the same division to compete with one another, that can ruin friendships. And I think that's where we at right now with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. It's ruining whatever cordial friendship that they had and respect that they had for one another. If you look back several months, Bill Haney and Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney was all on the panel at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And they was talking about this, that, and the other, about fighting each other and this, that. And look, if WCS is gonna give you my honest assessment, like my genuine assessment, I really tried my best not to entertain it, and I'm not now. I'm not going to get knee deep into the numbers. I'm just going to speak about it in a way that I'm going to convince you all that what we experienced the last 5 years with Crawford and Spence obviously didn't teach anybody anything. I mean, teach a lot of individuals on here anything. You know what I'm saying? You would think we was able to get a full-blown lesson, a correspondence course on the rhetoric and agitprop that is spreaded on the YTC and how it doesn't make fights. It shit doesn't make fights, y'all. So let me put my thumbnail up here so you can kind of get an idea of what my thumbnail was going. So as these two fighters was coming up, right? Team Haney is been around the block a time or two or three or four. When I say Team Haney, I'm speaking more about Bill. You know what I'm saying? Bill was the mouthpiece. He's the messenger. He's the Paul Revere who will go to these channels and he would speak of his son. It was at a point in time you didn't hear shit from Devin. Seriously. You didn't hear too much about Devin at all, man. Like Devin was out of sight, out of mind, and his father did most of the talking. You know what I'm saying? And people gauged their favoritism or dislike for Team Haney based off what they were seeing in the ring and what they was hearing from his pops. That's how it was. Bill Haney, like I say all the time, is built for these YTC streets. He has no problem jumping in and out of people's live streams and people sending him links and everything. He's been doing this for a while now. But my trend is the way I'm talking about, the trend I'm talking about is when it comes to the drama that's associated around Team Haney with fights that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? When I start hearing this Shakur Stevenson shit, I said, man, the fight isn't gonna happen. That's all I want to know. Is the fight gonna happen? The fight gonna happen. People have to understand that, Bill back in the day, man, he had this, he was in the music business and supposed to do whatever else he was doing on the street. He has the know-how and the savviness to go out here in this YTC and promote anything. And a lot of times when Bill is out here promoting, it's not always going to be positivity shit. He's going to talk his shit. And like I said, that's going to allow people to either like or dislike who he is as a person. Devin Haney wasn't in the picture. But when he was going back and forth with Gary Russell, it was like Gary Russell, they was talking about Gary Russell potentially fighting Devin. But it really wasn't Devin that was doing all the talking. It was more so G. Russell talking, Bill Haney. You know what I'm saying? And Devin Haney is grown. It was more so Bill Haney, right? So we know that fight wasn't gonna happen. They wasn't dropping the fight date with Yorkis Gamboa. They wasn't dropping it. And then, like I told you all before, the lightweight division. Same thing with Teofimo Lopez. Teo beat them to the punch. He got the belts. He beat Lomachenko. Now the chase was on. I thought it wasn't a good look for Team Haney to be chasing Teo the way they were. But it's exactly the same thing that what they've learned. I told people, I always put it out there. I need to stop saying it. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm in the moment, those of you that's here listening, you will understand what I said back then. because I'm not going to go back and timestamp a freaking live stream on what I mentioned. But I try to explain to people that in order for any fighter to get ahead of these fighters like Teofimo Lopez, Canelo Alvarez, because at the time Teo, he was doing big shit. He was getting sponsorship. He was all over the place, man. He redid his PR team. You know, he was getting some deals that you saying to yourself, damn, how is Teofimo Lopez getting these type of deals? And I always said it I will behoove the black fighters to try to find out how to get themselves out there with more exposure. I even said this about Crawford, coming up, that he just didn't like the media, but he needs the media. But in some of these fighters' reality, they feel like they don't need the media. So, Devin Haney found himself in pursuit of. And basically, Teofimo Lopez had the power. And him and his pops went back and forth with Bill Haney all over the place. I mean, they was on live streams, the same shit over and over and over again. And that's what you seen, man. You seen them going back and forth, and you say, are they gonna fight? That was the question that you was asking yourself. Are these cats gonna fight? Are they gonna fight? God damn, they on again. Are they gonna fight? Then Lopez Sr., talk to him. Are they gonna fight? Are you gonna fight? And you kept on hearing, yeah, we shook on it. We shook on it. A handshake in boxing mean nothing. It means absolutely nothing, bro. It's just for show. A handshake means absolutely nothing in the sport of boxing. And we seen all this play out until would go on to fight his mandatory in Cambosis and leave Devin, in the shadows. You know what I'm saying? But soon enough, T.O. losing the belts to Cambosis and Cambosis coming back around. And those of you that was listening to the show, I told you that Cambosis, his priority wasn't Devin Haney. He wasn't trying to fight Devin Haney. Why? Because he didn't think, that was a fighter that would be a good dance partner for him over in Australia. So he was trying his best to get Lomachenko, couldn't do it. So in reality, him not being able to get Lomachenko, he basically went out in the yard and scooped up as much dog shit as he possibly could. And he dumped it on top of the contract and said, read this contract with the dog shit on it. And freaking, it was a contract for Devin Haney. You either take it or leave it. We don't care. Take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? They had seen this man pursue, chase. And they treated him like, yeah, we know you've been chasing and we're going to treat you like that. We know you desperate. So that's what they had to go through. Now, I've said my piece. I'm not going back and regurgitating what I said about what I believe. I mean, what I think about the 25%. I'm on the new shit now. I have to speak on the new shit that's going on because we're talking about scenarios on this YTC where you believe that as logical as they seem, man, they're able to be brainstorm, just minimal brainstorming to come up with a solution. All it takes is minimal brainstorming. Minimal, y'all. We're talking about using the three major processors of our memory. We're talking about encoding, storage, and retrieval. That's it. That is it. That's all we have to do to figure this shit out. So one of Shakur friends or whoever gave a scenario. Now, a lot of y'all that's growing up, right? We've been in a situation where we can attempt to prognosticate certain goals we're trying to reach in life. So we'll say, man, you know what I'm saying? If I get this percentage of money, let me see, if I do this right here and get with this job and make this amount, and then if I can go in there with this percentage right here of experience, then I can potentially make this amount of money here. We were self-reflecting. We was giving ourselves psychological scenario based, troubleshooting efforts. You know what I'm saying? We was trying to figure out some shit, man. We was trying to sit up there and think, if we play out this way, that way, and the other way, where can I be here, there, and the other? You know what I'm saying? How do I get to this point? On on my vision towards success. So his, Shakur friend, whoever he was, gave a basic scenario on this potential Fathom boxing match. Okay. If you haven't heard, Devin Haney was pretty much in the conversation with Shakur Stevenson, right? So just months ago, we wasn't talking about no Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. Devin Haney, his name has been in the conversation with everybody else. I'm talking about outside his Lomachenko. It wasn't no freaking facing no Shakur Stevenson. It was more so Regis Prograis, right? And look, I'm gonna take y'all back a little bit. Regis Prograis has been about his money. He has. Regis Prograis came down here and fought on Triller and made 800,000 fighting on Triller. Fighting on Triller, y'all. Dude made some pretty good money. So I remember when Regis basically stepped outside the World Boxing Series and said, the money wasn't right. The money was funny. So since the money was funny, he was out and people believed that Regis Prograis wasn't going to fight. Long story short, he went back because he was fighting Josh Taylor. He went back and I guess they made whole on made him whole on, made it right, so to speak, on the money that he was going to make to fight Josh Taylor. He was going to lose that fight, but negotiation wise, Regis always stands on the money, right? So you have to balance the scales out as far as when it comes to credentials, accolades, so to speak, something to build up that leverage aspect of negotiation, right? So we thought Devin Haney was definitely going to move out of the 135-pound division. Why? Because we was hearing these same played out scenarios again. You know what I'm saying? These toilet bowl type scenarios play out that people continue to flush the shit. Look, check this out. How many times have we heard a fighter saying, I'm standing at the division too long, We've seen Shakur Stevenson lose his belts on the scale. We witnessed Devin Haney looking drawn in like a zombie in Australia, but still went out there and was able to get the win, right? We've seen Gervonta Davis lose his belts on the scale at one point in time, right? We recently been witnessing Errol Spence Jr. talk about he stayed at division too long, but he's the one that made the declaration for undisputed. You have all these fighters who are choosing to stay at the division for whatever reason for an extensive amount of time. But for Devin Haney, we've seen how big he balloons up in between fights. But when it comes to the conversation of convincing us, the consumer, that you're about to have another big fight in a division that has become extremely dense, you know what I'm saying, with names like Teofimo Lopez moving up to 140. You know what I'm saying? George Boses, he beat the man who beat the man, but he never proved that he was the man. He never proved that he can be the man. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't hold on to the titles. And that's where Devin Haney's leverage comes into play. You know what I'm saying? He defended his titles twice. But the question is, what were you going to do? If you was going to move up to 140, you move up to 140 and vacate the belt so other champions can move in. So in true fashion with the YTC, goddammit, they start preparing the environment to start smoking it up once again. They start trying to line up two other fighters to be the next two that the YTC becomes divided on. We thought it was going to be Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis. You know what I'm saying? Because they was talking, Bill was in the store talking shit about Tank. Tank was talking shit about them. He was going back and forth. So people was like, I wonder if this fight going to happen. And then in reality, people's like, man, that fight's not going to happen because it's just no way they're going to come to a conclusion that, Devin's going to be the A side in a division where Tank is doing the pay-per-view numbers. You know what I'm saying? It became very complex. But Once again, Haney name was in the conversation with Gervonta Davis. A fight that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? This is becoming a trend. The people are getting a bit irked. You know what I'm saying? Like all these names are coming up, but nothing's going on. Just think about it. You fought Gamboa, you fought Jojo Diaz. You know what I'm saying? You fought in Kambosos twice and Lomachenko. Okay, cool. Let's just go off the Lomachenko. You had a close fight with Lomachenko. But when it comes to the next big name at the lightweight division, now you're giving the people impression that there's a bit of delirium, confusion going on how you plan on moving. Gervonta name evaporated. Now Shakur Stevenson. Someone that once again you thought y'all had a pretty decent relationship. Now it's getting extremely dirty, nasty, personal, stuff like that. Now what we've been hearing in the past, like we've heard with plenty of other fighters, we heard it with Teofimo Lopez about the sparring. We sure did. We heard about that shit already. We heard about Gervonta Davis, previous sparring, and all this other shit, right? Now a video get leaked where Bill Haney is talking about, if it gets too hot, we just move to 140. Well, it's hot. It's hot at 135. Shakur Stevenson, you don't need three boilers, three boilers with hot water on there to say that the stove is hot. All you need is one. Turn on one eye, the shit get hot at a certain temperature, and that's what it is. You don't need three other fighters to pick and choose, and that's not the one we want to see you fight. So Shakur Stevenson wants to win, then it should have been respected enough for people to kind of break down and do their own analytics just a little bit more in detail. And that's when it comes to these phantom ass numbers. First of all, let's get something straight with negotiation. Let's get something straight with these just on out here within the YTC. It's been so many times that percentages are thrown out there. Percentages. We ran through this shit in 2022 where people thought they knew everything. 65-35, 65-35. That's all we fucking heard. 65-35 all the fucking time. Now we get around to Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. All of a sudden, what? Shakur wants 50%. Devin want to give him 25%. You know what I'm saying? So his board gives a scenario that, if Shakur Stevenson was getting 25%, and then out of the whatever the gross or whatever the case may be, he will make 8 million or whatever. And look, I'm not gonna go in detail because I can line that up with something else. Now I'm gonna line it up with another analogy. I'm going to give you another comparison to that too. But he gave this empty scenario, which it was nothing. There was no type of numbers that was going on paper. This is far from the negotiating table, y'all. This is just banter at the end of the day. If he said, Shakur Stevenson, 25%, he was set to make about 8 million, this, that, and the other. It's called a scenario. It's called a process of somebody providing you with an example. I don't have to look up the definition of example. You should know what an example is. It's just providing you with an example on if something play out this way, and these numbers are how they are. This can happen or that can happen, right? So if he gave an example of Shakur Stevenson, being that the 25% was the big talking point, that Team Haney gave him 25%. And let's just say, look, I'm gonna get mine. Let's just say Shakur was able to make, he was set to make about 8 million off the 25%. Now, to those who just listening, they're gonna say, well, that's the most Shakur Stevenson ever made in a fight. Why don't he just take it? You know what I'm saying? Why don't he just take it? These bogus ass scenarios that's bounced around in the court of the YTC, man. They never hit the net. They never hit the net. And what is hitting the net? Hitting the net is landing and scoring points good enough to for these numbers to go into the negotiation room and make a fight. You know what I'm saying? Come a part of the playbook. These numbers never are part of any type of sidebar conversations where the managers, where the teams are getting together, the promoters, and they want to sit down and talk about this shit. It never hit net, bro. So when I'm hearing this scenario about 25% and possibly 8 million, people can say that for whatever they believe the process is going to be when these two fight. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about very small details, the concessions, the back end, the pay-per-view, all this other shit, bro. Like, it's so many bullet points on what percentage a fighter can get off this, and this, and this. It's all based off the numbers that the fight do. It's so complex, man. And it gets even more distorted when you're not part of the team. You really don't have, you're really not privy to the information that's going on. So if this guy gave a scenario of 25% and he's just giving you a broad, reflection on if Shakur Stevenson would make this amount, people ran with it because of the number. You know what I'm saying? It's possible somebody to get 25% out a deal and make 8 million off of it. You know what I'm saying? Profit. They can profit 8 million. It's possible on a deal. It's possible. But in boxing, knowing that Shakur has not made 8 million for a fight, it seems extravagant. It's saying to yourself, wow, man, he's getting 8 million for that. Listen, Crawford fighting David Avanesian, based off everything he's been able to accomplish, was set to make 8 figures at BOK Prime. And they were saying, oh man, Crawford ain't never made that much money. Bullshit. How you gonna pay that? So they was basically disputing that right off the rip. But in Shakur Stevenson's case, people look at it from a different point of view because he's a 2-weight world champion. And when they hear 25%, they say, man, that's pretty low. You know what I'm saying? To fight for undisputed. But depending on what other negotiation details is going on, what are the agreements? What can y'all agree on? This, and this, and this to make that money. Now, 25%, that seems small to a lot of people. And you throw in possibly grossing 8 million out of the 25%, that 25% isn't so small anymore. That's a pretty good deal. But then the smart ones will wise up. They will straighten up their posture, right? And they'll say to themselves, well, hold up. How are they gonna? We're talking about two guys who not pay-per-view stars. They're not doing any type of numbers that Gervonta Davis has done in his career. How is this 8 million? Where is it gonna come from? Where? Then you start to just peel back all. I mean, it don't matter what corner you start from. It's easy. You start peeling back corners and shit. You're like, hold up. So you trying to tell me top rank? You're gonna get 8 million? It don't make any sense to freaking argue about this shit. The YTC has to understand and learn that we've been through this way before, years and years ago, with the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence situation, and how they were saying Errol Spence should give Crawford only this, and Crawford, he shouldn't get this. He should take what they give him, and all this other bullshit. My bad, y'all. It's storming over here. It's freaking storming over this mug. I think whatever it was in there. But let me get to the chat right quick. Shout out to Lisa Bells on there, the OG on deck. How you doing, sister? Yeah, my fault, man. It's the weather's bad over here, bro. Shout out to Athletic Mind in the building. What's good with it, brother? Definitely check out Athletic Mind. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you pulling up. Don Dada in the building. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? Bill asked this dummy Shakur how much money he wants for the fight. He said 50-50. How slow can you be? So I'm not sure where I dropped off, but I'll just start off with this right here. Like I said before, when it comes to these two names, man, I'm not going to condition myself to put up with this again after going through it with Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Way back when, Wilder, Anthony Joshua. Up here, going through it with Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Do you see the trend here? And then we got another set of black fighters to take the place of Terrence Crawford and Bud Crawford. I mean, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Now it's Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. But the good part about this is, if you're smart, you should have already known that we've been here already with the Haneys. Like I mentioned previously, you had the Gamboa situation, you had the Teofimo Lopez, then you had them going at Gervonta Davis. This is an omnipresence. This is a reoccurring theme, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And now, ta-da! Now we at Shakur Stevenson. It's going through the same process over and over again, y'all. Somebody brings up an example and say 25%, 8 million, and people run with it. Who's going to get 8 million? Who? Off what pay-per-view? We're talking about Crawford and Errol Spence did 650 to 700, and they potentially got 12 guarantee to walk out on the back end or whatever, 20, 25. Now you saying two fighters that haven't even came close to building up any rivalry. This Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson has not been a rivalry. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence has been spoken about so much that they became rivals outside of the ring. Why? Because of what was going on at the welterweight division. Shakur Stevenson only fought Yoshino at the lightweight division. It hasn't been enough time for them to build up anything. But how do you build up a rivalry? Who knows? Who knows the dynamic of building up a rivalry? Who knows what the fuck this takes to build up something that's serious? Look, Bill Haney has to convince us that this is serious. That Shakur Stevens is not going to be the lamb of sacrifice based off what happened between them with the Aussie double signing the shitty ass contract. You know what I'm saying? Because look, it's just not going to work out. Even though I said, hey, Shakur Stevenson get 50-50, no, I don't think that's the way it should be. I wouldn't give him. If I was the fighter, I wouldn't do it, because my mindset is what I accomplished over there, Australia twice, and Lomachenko. Real talk. Shakur Stevenson don't have no Lomachenko on his record. You know what I'm saying? He don't have no Lomachenko on his record. And he doesn't have an undisputed fighter on his record. So he's behind the leveraging right there when it comes to the numbers. Real talk. He's out. So now you have to put in perspective, is the Haney's willing to compromise just a little bit? Is he willing to compromise and give Shakur Stevenson a fair shake to make this fight happen, just so the consumers and the boxing fans and the masses can see this fight play out? Is the Haney's willing and able to make a little bit of compromise? I don't know. But let's get one thing straight. You hear people talking about Devin his own boss, Devin his own boss, Devin his own boss. To a point, Devin can be his own boss in whatever business ventures that he's on, and whatever process of negotiation he's able to get into, and what the paperwork says about DHP promotion. I get it. But if you're going through the network, last time I checked, Bill Haney doesn't have a network. If you're talking about going through Bob Arum, you ain't the boss of Bob Arum. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why people going around here saying that he's his own boss, he's his own boss. Bro, when it comes to this fight, is he going to go out? Is he going to come out his own pocket and satisfy, the money to make this fight happen? I don't think so. Neither Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson have proven that they are a pay-per-view draw. Neither of them. They haven't been in position yet. They haven't did no incredible numbers for us to be in awe about. But guess what we're doing? We're now a part of the same toilet bowl narratives that's being flushed through the YTC once again. The pipes are open, and here we go with these same narratives flooding into the freaking the space of the promotions. And people are looking at like, oh man, long as we keep this going, we can potentially make this fight happen. You're not going to make shit happen, bro. Look, that's just not the way it happens. You just don't take a shit and with your bias ass narrative, right? And you go off somebody talking about 25% and this person can make this. And then this lands in the office of Top Rank. And they say to themselves, I think it's something that we need to, take in consideration there, Bob. I know you've been in the business several decades, but maybe we should, take what the YTC is telling us, you know what I'm saying? And make this fight happen. It never has been the case, y'all. Never has been the case. I don't care how many times they flush the toilet. It's no more cleaner than last previous flushes. It's never going to be that clean. Even though they try to make that motherfucker clean, it's never going to be that clean. And looking, the sewer lines and pipelines do not stop and drop off all that bullshit in the office of these promotions like Top Rank and TGB, Golden Boy. They don't. Matchroom. That's not how the flow works. So my biggest question is, are y'all serious about making this fight? Or you want to take us on a whirlwind of wolf tickets? You know what I'm saying? Getting personal in the YTC. We want to release videos of freaking, so-and-so being recorded, Bill Haney being recorded, pretty much saying if it get hot, we move to 140. Okay, cool. Now he's released a video of Shakur saying he's tired. Now we actually believing that now we're going to run off a fighter saying he's tired to say that he quit. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. Similar to Gervonta Davis, having a video out there where they said Gervonta just stopped in. He wasn't on deck that long. And I guess he didn't know that Devin Haney or whatever was going to be the person. I don't know the whole deal, but he wasn't in the best of shape or whatever. Somewhat like the Spatafora situation with Floyd Mayweather. Situations like this fucking happen. Fighters can get tired. You know what I'm saying? They can get tired. Just like you heard that, during the Brian Norman Jr. Sparring session, that Tank took off his headgear first. And Brian Norman was still, with his headgear on, wanting to go another round. And Team Davis stopped. You're gonna hear those type of shit. So if Shakur Stevenson said, I'm tired, is that being stopped? Is that quitting? Does that have anything to do with negotiations? Is it relevant on us trying to get this fight, to talk about it with some validity? Because there's a lot of goddamn wolf tickets just going on in the YTC, bro. And people just want to continue to just run this shit to the sewer systems, man. And believing it's being filtered over into the promotions. And they're gonna say, oh wow, I like this right here. This is that fine shit. And you can tell what everybody was eating in this too. I'm looking at it. They had some filet mignon, some corn. They had that premium corn too, because this shit has not been broken down at all. And what we have some carrots, so potentially Caesar salad, huh? Yeah, yeah. They was eating some salad. It's a healthy person. We got some sesame seeds in here. Yep, some cranberries. I see some cranberries in this shit too. That's just not the way it works, people. We can listen to the bullshit all day back and forth. That's just not the way the process works in making these fights. But let's just talk about the reality of it. For Team Haney. Team Haney, man, you've been on record as going at fighters and the fight don't happen. You know what I'm saying? You know, from Gervonta Davis to Shakur Stevenson to Regis Prograis. Those are 3 fights that we don't even know if it's going to happen or not. We thought you had been, on record. We seen you in the ring. Lomachenko said, you heavyweight? You was big. So if you're going to say you've been at this weight since you was 16 or something like that, why would you overstay and struggle? Let's just say you're increasing your competition, your level of competition. Let's just say the choices you have to make with these next 3 opponents is not on the level of a George Kambosos. You're talking about a Regis Prograis at a higher division. That would benefit you 5 pounds more. You're feeling good about yourself. You're not at 135, right? But Gervonta Davis is at 135. Shakur Stevenson is at 135. So what are you gonna do, man? Because it's becoming repetitive, man. This shit is becoming redundant over and over again of all these damn wars and fires that y'all starting, man. And we can't even get the fight. Like, are you gonna move up and vacate? Or are you gonna stay in the division? If you're gonna stay in the division, what's wrong, bro? What's wrong with making this fight, y'all? Y'all tell me. Shout out to Shaw News and Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw in the building. Team Tucker official on deck. What's good with it, brother? He said, for real, and the YTC boxing challenge ran with that shit. Shaking my head, $8 million only on the YTC. And speaking of the people that's in their go fasters, there's full speed on their go fasters, right? You would think as long as they've been on this social media platform, this is something that they wouldn't really, entertain and want people to believe is serious. We can't even give scenarios anymore we can't even hear scenarios anymore and take it as a scenario without saying, no, that's for real right there. No, that's for real right there. I'm gonna make it look like it's for real. Like this is turned out to be the ARB, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is the YTC is turned into the ARB, the Asylum Review Board. That's the way I look at it. YTC is turned into the Asylum Review Board, y'all. Athletic Mind say, tired of these dudes talking. Man, it's a lot of talking that goes on over here. And what we need to do is be extremely attentive on what not to carry and give attention to. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to carry that luggage if you don't need to. You know what I'm saying? You just can't pick up everything these cats are talking about and take it as if it's serious. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's okay to chop it up. It's social media at the end of the day. It's good to have some fun, real talk. But when we're talking about fights, man, if you want to brag on a certain name of making all the fights, they really putting on some great fights. They really putting on some great fights. Okay. We have to speak on what the reality is of Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson happening. Is it? Is it going to happen? Or is this just another freaking, you know, Barney the Playhouse ramping up freaking negative energy, going to war with somebody else, two other black fighters going to war once again on social media for years upon years upon years, keeping their name fucking relevant and nowhere closer to getting a fight. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson fighting somebody different, Devin Haney fighting somebody different. You know what I'm saying? When does it stop? You know what I'm saying? When does this motherfucking shit, peak and pinch the nerves of these content creators enough to say, that ain't worth talking about? They ain't worth talking about because, so-and-so has a habit. They have a history of starting fires. And all they do is they want them fires to burn to keep it relevant. So what's the need of keeping Devin relevant if he's not gonna fight the fighter? Like, you got the straps, you have the hardware, you have the leverage. Prove to us that you can make a fight with the hardware. You didn't make the fights with Kambosos like that. You was locked in. You didn't go in there with leverage. You know what I'm saying? You was just low crawling in the shit that was on the contract. And then you had no other measures, no other recourse except to fight Lomachenko. That was the agreement y'all had. You couldn't get out of it. Y'all on record. Bill's on record saying they couldn't get out of that unless they was to freaking vacate. And I don't even know if they could have vacated or not. But they took the fight. Lomachenko, I'm telling you this, Lomachenko didn't get lowballed. So now with the hardware, who's next, bro? We want to know who's next. Is it possible for you all with all those belts to negotiate a fight that we want to see? Or y'all gonna say, well, we're gonna make the most of this, man. Fuck everything. Whoever step in the line of fire, they get shot, man. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna accommodate any. Nobody accommodated us. I ain't compromising shit. I'm gonna treat them the way we was treated. See, you get that mentality, man. It's just gonna be a lost cause. People, once again, the fans that you earn beating Kambosos and Lomachenko, they're gonna start turning their back and walking the other way. You're gonna be back where you started. You kind of want to build up the consumers and keep them there. Devin's still young. Shakur Stevenson's still young. You know what I'm saying? But Shakur is older than Devin. You want to build up that fan base and keep it there so you continue to, put your name out there, have putting butts in the seats, have the consumers talking about you in between fights, have sponsors interested in providing you that support. I mean, that's where you want to go with it. But I'd be damned if I tag along with this Pee Wee Harmon's Playhouse. You know what I'm saying? This parking lot carnival for another 3 to 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out these dudes gonna fight each other. And then the crazy part, the way my mind is, I'm like, shit, with Devin, you stay at 135 too long and lose the belts on the scales, it's not going to be a good look. And then you stay at 135 and you're trying to basically cut down. What if you get to 140 and then you can't stay there as long as you want to, because your body is so fucked up from them cutting down to 135. It's not acting the way you thought it would act. It's only a measly 5 pounds now. It's 5 pounds, bro. And Devin Haney, I'm going to assume that he's way above 140 anyway in between fights. He's much higher than 140. So when you get to 140 and you start struggling to make 140 because you stayed at 35 too long, then what? You're going to have to go to 147 when you don't want to go. You're going to be forced to go to 147 because you're getting older and your body is not really, dropping the weight like you want it to. You have to take that in consideration, y'all. You procrastinate too long and hang out in the elevator, you close that door and that motherfucker plummet to the damn bottom floor. Shit start to act crazy, lights blinking and shit. It's only 5 pounds. The quality ain't the same anymore. Did nothing, we buy. Shout out to Boxing Fan Talk on deck. Shout out to Cam Edwards. What's good? What's good? Exactly where's the money coming from? If 25% is 8 million, yeah, where that money coming from? You know, based off what Bob Aaron was telling us about Crawford, talking about he lost enough money to buy a house in Beverly Hills. You know, where's that money coming from? Bob ain't goddamn handing out money like that. Isn't that what they was bragging about? Look, they it's so much shit out here on this social media shit. Isn't that what they was bragging about? Isn't what they said that Top Rank ain't paying like PBC? PBC out here paying enough for their fighters to fight once a year, but Top Rank, you know what I'm saying, they having this amount of fight. Isn't that what Rick Glaser was trying to highlight when it came down to Top Rank? Wasn't it put out there for the business of boxing that Top Rank is not paying their fighters like PBC is paying their fighters? So where is he gonna get 8 million from? Somebody explain that to me. Shout out to Toby Bartlett in the building. Juice Lee on deck. What's good? Haney getting 75%, which is 24 million. It's the most outlandish claim I've heard since last week. Buzz, Margarito snack pads, soap gloves versus high drunk clone Spence. Man, damn, dog. Hey, that's a lot to unpack, dog. You know what I'm saying? Look, Haney getting 75%, which is 24 million. And look, it took us forever and a day with a fighter like Crawford, who was already undisputed in 2017, to get into the position to fight Errol Spence after the failed negotiation. After the failed negotiation. And you're talking about they probably got like 20, 25 mil of that. But all of a sudden, Haney is getting 24 million. I mean, that shit is crazy, man. Like I say, the Asylum Review Board is actively taking clients, patients. Yes, sir. Sign up today. Application fee waived. I guess we need to ask if Haney Shakur can generate 32 million. No, we don't, Andrew, because, you know, if we put forth the effort to figure out if this can actually happen, then we need to sign ourselves up to be a patient at the ARB. We do, Andrew. We need to sign up ASAP. ASAP. We need to go up here and fill out the application and put and admit ourselves to the Asylum Review Board, where you have to stay in that motherfucker total 120 days for review. You know what I'm saying? We need it. One on deck. I see you. What's good with it, brother? We need to. Christopher on deck, Tyrese on deck. I see you, Dan Tan on deck. I'm going to have a lot more gray hairs by the time Shakur Haney goes down. I feel you, bro. For real, I feel you. I mean, the only way, look, this is not my field of expertise by no means, right? I'm just saying, like, in order to get gray hair, you have to have a sense of stress. Your stress levels have to peak just a little bit more than the normal. You know what I'm saying? They have to peak above the normal of you just going through your daily routine and you don't feel no stress. Your stress levels has to peak. You know, your blood pressure has to go up a little bit. It has to be something that's worrying you. And I'm saying, don't let this shit worry you. Don't let this Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, you know, type of back and forth, this pretending like this fight is going to happen sometime soon in 2023. Don't let it worry you, dog. I'm pretty sure Shakur Stevenson is going to fight, you know, Frank Martin probably next. Man, this is a situation that we went through with freaking Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. Same bullshit, bro. Same bullshit, man. Over and over again. Then, you know, they talk about, well, Gervonta Davis, we're going to see that. No, it was just to put, you know, to start a fire, let it burn itself out. I don't see any difference with this. I really don't. Shakur can take the 8 million. Bro, what that 8 million? They was tripping about Crawford getting 10 million to be okay prime. Where's the 8 million coming from? How's the promotion going to get that back? You trying to tell me they're going to put it on pay-per-view for $74.99? How many people going to buy that? How many people going to buy that? What was the numbers with Lomachenko and Devin Haney? Haney is obviously going to expect his opponents to take the same deal he took for his shot at the belts. Maybe that's how it should be. I don't know, but it rubs me wrong. He earned that spot, though. I agree with you on that. And I said that the other day on the live. I said, does Shakur Stevenson rate that 50-50? I wouldn't say he rates the 50-50. I wouldn't say that. 25%. Like I said, I'm missing a whole lot of other details that's dealing with this. Are we talking about flat fees? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? We talking about off the net profit? What are we talking about? It's some details I need to be privy to. I need to be aware. Allow me to get familiar with the other details that may be internal to the contract. That's the only way I can feel that I can speak on it in all fairness. If I can't get that, it's just another freaking narrative flushed down the fucking toilet, and people wanted to pretend like it's landing in the office of the Top Rank, and they're gonna entertain this shit. Bob Arum, last time I checked, do not hand out free money like that. Why do you think T.O. had to go to a purse bid? T.O. had the cojones to take that fight to a purse bid with Kambosos. And, because Top Rank wasn't going to budge on that shit. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yeah, it didn't work out for Teo, but at least he had the cojones to do it. And that's why I was being fair with Shakur Stevenson. I said, if you're going to negotiate your worth and you want to change levels, you have to pick a time where you think the fight warrants you changing levels. And this is a big fight. Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, yeah, it's a big fight. Should he have just kept this round in the chamber? Nah, I don't think so. But just like it's been put out there already, if you don't agree with the 25%, what is your counter offer to that? If you want 50, they say 25, you're going to come back with 35? I mean, let us know, let us know something so we can talk about it and allow it to be relevant based off what you have said on a podcast, from your own words on tweet or something. You know what I'm saying? And y'all have to understand, man, he's managed by Jay Prince. So Jay Prince is not new to this. And that's another layer, you know what I'm saying, a facet that I consider heavy, that these people that's talking on the YTC always exclude the managers, bro. He's managed by Jay Prince. They always exclude the managers of this shit. They act like they're the ones that's remotely managing these fighters, and whatever they say is golden. No, that's not the way it works, bro. What you saying is bullshit. These are people that'll tell you that they're all about, they've been in this fight, that fight, and the other. They've seen this happen and heard this person say this. But they've never been a part of actually making a fight happen. So as I say, again, we're going to sit on the YTC and speak on this fight on a daily occurrence. Just because it sounds good to now pit Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson against one another. I mean, that's a lot of shit that's a lot of bullshit right there. Like, now all of a sudden, Crawford handles his business with Spence. Now we go on to the next set of black fighters. That shit is pitiful, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that shit is pitiful. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's pitiful to stay close to the social media and absorb this. You need to make sure you work on your breathing, man. Don't let this shit piss you off. because you put all this damn dedicated energy to thinking this fight was actually gonna happen. And no, this is just another fire that Bill has put out there. Team Haney is fueling, and it's gonna burn for a little bit, and then that shit's just gonna blow out. It's gonna smoke until somebody puts some more accelerant on there. So now we got the two videos out there. You know what I'm saying? We got the two. What's next? What's next? Okay. You know, I hear people talking about Shakur. Shakur Stevenson is a motherfucking snake. He's a scoundrel, you know, for doing this, that, and the other. Listen, come on now. Let's not go to the snakes and scoundrels when it comes to the boxing game. Y'all gonna make the fight or not? Shakur say when he see Devin, he gonna slap him. You know, make sure your security. You know, all this other shit. Are y'all gonna fight or not? Because all this back and forth per the thumbnail, that's just not the way the fight's gonna be made. You know what I'm saying? You all on Twitter and shit. There, Stevenson and Haney, it's not gonna make the fight, bro. It's not gonna make the fight. It's just good for talking points. It's good that people was able to once again have a voice to express their opinions and shit like that. But when you start tossing numbers around, just toss that number around that I said earlier. You flush your toilet 6 times. So you trying to convince us that it's much cleaner on the 6th flush than all the other 5 flushes you just did? It's way more clean on the 6th flush. That's what I think about when I hear the 25% and the 8 million. And where's the money coming from? You know what I'm saying? Where's this fucking money coming from? If I keep on flushing the toilet, and you know what I'm saying, I'll get the results that I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? I'll get it. So one way or the other, I get the results I'm looking for. You ain't gonna get shit. Shot News say YTC boxing talk is the cesspool. Unfortunately, it is, my brother. It's beyond that at this point. It is a septic tank of media. That is what the YTC is when it comes to this. You know, it's so much shit that goes on in the YTC, man. Is crazy. Old Bob is going to listen to the YTBC and start handing out big money to fighters that boxing channels say they deserve. You know what I'm saying, Toby? Come on, man. I guess that's something we have to look forward to. Bob Arum, I've witnessed this man at 90 years old still have boxing conversations. And I'm saying to myself, Bob Arum, man, he's 90 years old and still showing up to fights and having boxing conversations. So you think that this man is going to start conforming to the YTC? Knowing that it's a load of crock of bullshit that they attempt to flush through the pipes into his office? It's not happening. That's just not how the formation, you know, moves and progress in this, man. It's too much bullshit. And look, you have to get used to the usual suspects, man. You have to get acclimated to the usual suspects in certain divisions that starts these fires and get people to talking. Notice this now. Notice this too. They're laying low on Boots Ennis right now because they want to go off what is considered to be active. You know, this is active. It's more personal. See, Boots should be paying attention, but he shouldn't be paying attention because, you know, they say good publicity is better than no publicity. All right, that's what they say. So I know Boots don't have. We don't know if he has a fight coming up. None of that. All they talking about is the fact that, you know, Errol Spence hasn't really been identified officially from, you know, the PBC as enacting his rematch clause. So people are running with, hey, it ain't gonna be no match. He declined. He quit. He withdrew. No rematch. No rematch. No rematch. Because it can possibly be extension behind the scenes that hasn't been released yet. I mean, all you gotta do is just think about the negotiations. It's a lot of what was negotiated that we wasn't informed about. That shit wasn't leaked to anything out here. I mean, it was hush hush the entire time. No one knew anything. And still to this day, they really don't know about the negotiations. So think about this freaking him enacting the rematch. So you at one point in time, Boots names would start to come up about Crawford fighting Boots and all this other stuff. If you know can Crawford will Crawford fight Boots if Errol Spence don't enact his rematch clause? And then that just faded out into the shadows. He's getting no press play. It's all Haney-Stevenson. Haney-Stevenson. For a minute, Frank Martin was getting a little bit play. But if that is who Shakur Stevenson is going to face next, is Frank Martin, no one cares right now. No one cares. And we're talking about a fight that potentially may happen in November. No one's really talking about that right now. They're busy talking about a fight that's not going to happen this year. Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney happens, in my opinion, it'll happen at 140. Why? Because I guess the mentality of the Haneys, which once again, I'm not criticizing them for being who they are, because Bill is a hardworking man. And, a lot of things I don't agree with what he does, but I cannot knock him as a father. I can't knock him for his work ethic. You know what I'm saying? The man knows how to get attention on his son. He does. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, this bullshit, man, it just becomes redundant, man. Seriously. It's just, hearing the same bullshit on the same fighter, pump faking with all these challenges. Like we've seen it already. Teofimo Lopez, Javante Davis, now Shakur Stevenson. Are any of these fights going to be made, though? Jesus, man. He should move up. He made Undisputed. That was a huge goal achieved. They're not happy at the weight. Just move up. I agree, bro. Just move up. Just be done with it, bro. Did you just say go fasters? Yes, sir. Hey, Dan, you know what go fasters are, bro? That's what they used to say back in the 80s, man. In boot camp, man. Go get them go faster. Now get online. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Grab that left go faster now. Put that left go faster on. Tie it up now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're done. Get that right go fast. Put it in your hand. Put it on your feet now. Tie it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The go fasters were them ugly ass shoes they issue you. And them goddamn shits was so goddamn uncomfortable. The go fasters, dog. You know what I'm saying? They told us the goddamn you will be issued a one pair of go fasters. You know what I'm saying? Battered wife syndrome. Man, you know what it is, man. This shit. AMD, isn't this one of the most dysfunctional relationships you can have? Because, at one point in time, the way I look at it still to this day, this is supposed to be separate from your real life, right? This is supposed to be separate from your real life. I can almost clearly confirm to anyone that if I was still in a marriage, there's no way I'd be on here as much as I am. Because if my kids was younger and I was still in the marriage, there's no way I would be on here, as long as some of these cats are on here. The reason being is that, if you're up all day and all night, then how's your girl getting any loving and companionship? This is why I say the YTC, it's real life. You only one body, just like I said about Diddy James. You only one person. So if that one person is outside of a normal, natural situation you should be in as a family, if you're on social media, that means you can't be over here with your family. You can't. This is why I say this shit is real life. So if you get mad at what you're seeing with the Haneys and Stevenson and you up here arguing, this is your real life shit you going through. This is your real life. This is not fake. Now I'm not saying you can't be faking and pushing the narratives that you push, but this is not a fake reality. You're using your energy. You're using oxygen. You're using time. You're using space. You know what I'm saying? You're using remediated routines that you carry out every day. This has become your basic daily routine, the BDR. That's what it's become. And it's insane. I'm not going to lie. It's insane, man. I'm trying to figure out who they think is going to give Shakur Stevenson $8 million. Top Rank sure as hell isn't giving him a Devin Haney that. You know what I'm saying, MD? What the fuck they talking about, Shotty? Like, come on, bro. Where is this $8 million coming from? A dude provides you with a scenario, and they run with the scenario to say that Shakur Stevenson turned down 25% that potentially would have netted him $8 million. You trying to tell me we still working with nets and fish? So you trying to tell me that Shakur would have got $8 million fighting Devin Haney and Lomachenko didn't? That's what you trying to tell me? So Shakur Stevenson, who has less accolades than Lomachenko, Shakur would have came in here and got $8 million fighting Devin Haney on what? ESPN? Pay-per-view? Come on, let's stop the madness, man. Be smart. You know what I'm saying? Be smart, man. Be smart. Man, there go the link down there, man. I know I don't drop the link, but definitely I would want to hear what y'all have to say about the ongoing topics of discussion on this YTC. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy Trick Noti in the building. What's good with it, Trick? How you feeling, brother? You know what I'm saying? What's good? The Oracle is on deck, man. Tell them to goddamn send you that Cash App, Trick, for your work. Shit, goddamn Trick be making them calls. Yeah, some Trick note. Hey, hi, how you doing? It's good to meet you. Yes, from my understanding, you was boxing back in 1945, wasn't you? So I don't know if you did a podcast before. What's a podcast? That's what I'm trying to talk to you about. There's some people that want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Your name popped up. We want to get you on the channel. Well, I haven't did a podcast since retiring from the sport. Well, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is click that link and go through a little points of what they call that accreditation. Get your shit mirrored up to the back end of the damn StreamYard or whatever, and you should be good, sir. Showtime dropped that sauce. Yes, sir. Y'all definitely check out Showtime, man. He's been going in on this particular situation. I was hesitant on speaking on the toilet bowl theory because I look at it like this is shit they should know already. They'll look at my thumbnail and they'll probably say, "Oh, that's just too much work." And this, no, not really. It's not, because y'all believe that energy comes from the bullshit that y'all flush all the time and into people's thought processes. If you continue to talk about it all the time, they're gonna listen, soak it in, you know what I'm saying, catalog it, right? Dealing with the the processes that I mentioned, the three major processes, right? The encoding, storage, and retrieval. They're gonna go through the whole storage process. And why they're keeping that storage in there, they shit began to become contaminated, just like these sewer pipes. The shit become contaminated. And then they start talking like they really know what's going on about this 25% and 8 million. And they actually believe that as long as they push these narratives out there, it's gonna fall in the office of Top Rank. And they're gonna say, you know what? I like what I see, man. Look, even though Bob Arum has been on record and said it wasn't any substance to no 25%. They didn't have anything behind it. Why are we talking about this like it's so serious? Like, man, we are I'm thinking that the most slaves, when it comes to this social media right now is here, It's here. Real talk. It's here. Because, Bob said there wasn't no substance on that 25%. It wasn't a real offer. So while we out here speaking about it as if it's a real offer, You know what I'm saying? Why are we doing that shit? It makes no sense for us to speak on it like it's a real offer and it totally goes nowhere. I get it. Real talk. I get it. Jessica on deck, I see you. You know what I'm saying? Salute WCS to the chat. Salute to you. You would think people would find something wise to entertain themselves with. It's a fight every weekend, damn near. Plenty of boxing to discuss, but people only care about certain shit. I will have to agree, and I will have to say this blunt that a lot of us are guilty to what you just said about certain, caring about certain topics. That's just how it ebbs and flows on YTC. Like, truth be told, you should be talking about multi topics, multiple fighters. I agree. I totally agree with that. But the engagement aspect of it, it deals and evolves around controversy. It's always about controversy, man. If you can speak on a topic between two fighters of interest and it deals with controversy, man, you're going to get the activity. You're going to get the traction that you're looking for. And then you're going to do another topic. I've been guilty of that. I mean, I spoke about the Crawford Spence situation for months. I mean, for weeks, rather. I did. But I felt that was information that was more so based off the realization of the fight. You know what I'm saying? The realization of the fight happening. We knew this shit was gonna happen. But this shit right here, I don't think it's gonna happen. I just think it's another freaking a small little fire. Keep on adding accelerant to it. Just keep it burning, keep it burning, keep it burning. And then it start to go out, let it smoke, smoke, smoke until something else come out. Add some more accelerant to it. Get it to burning again. That's what we seen, bro. We're talking about months upon months of the Gary Russell situation playing out back in the day. Months. Batman. You know what I'm saying? Batman, the countless hours. I used to, be going places and then I was listening to this shit, on the road. And then I get home, the shit was still going on. Still going on. Man, that shit was active. So when you go through an active situation just for entertainment like that, and then it don't happen, y'all. And then the Teofimo Lopez, weeks. Who he gonna fight? Who he gonna fight? Is he gonna fight Devin? If you gonna fight Devin, Haney? What you gonna fight? No, he didn't fight Haney. But they definitely, everybody was talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wasn't talking about Teo fighting Kambosos unless they was trying to say that Teo was ducking Haney. That's all. Oh, man. Teo ducking Haney by fighting Kambosos. But every time you turn around, it was some back and forth, venom being spit by both camps, including Lopez Sr. and Bill Haney. That shit didn't happen. Javante didn't happen. Regis ain't happen. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson didn't happen. So when is the fight going to start to take place, bro? When are we going to actually see these punches, this contract being signed and get the goddamn presser going so we can have some real legitimate fights? We ain't trying to go back through the Crawford Spence era of talking this fight into fruition 5 years from now. I think it's enough people who have learned from it. It is. And if this was starting to turn into what people believe is just wolf tickets being sold, they're not going to entertain it like that. Only the content creators who's looking for views and subs is going to entertain it. They let Bill Hayne manipulate them. He tried it with your OG, but it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, Bill won't come over here, man. I can't. You know that. It's not going to happen. Appreciate WCS. The crazy interview was with Tommy Artardo He used to box, and he and his brother ran with Irish gangsters, Whitey Bulger. I was thinking my phone was tapped. Damn, dog. Man, they ran with Whitey Bulger, man. Jeez. The way they did that, man, when he was locked up, man. Damn. Beat him with some locks or whatever they did. Yeah, he was on the run. He was on the run for a long time. He was out of sight, out of mind. And somehow, some way, man, they end up catching up with him. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with something that's coming to fruition though. If we're talking about something that we know there's a high percentage that this is going to take place. It's a high percentage. We don't really have to talk it, keep talking about it as if it's never going to happen, or it's never going to be in existence. That fight with Crawford Spence, yeah, it was going to happen. We just didn't know when. But we don't know all these fights are going to happen. The common denominator is Haney. They're starting all these fires with these names, but what is burning into to reality? Which one? What are we looking for? Shakur say he's ready. I don't know. Javante is ready. Of course, he's a pay-per-view guy. You know what I'm saying? He say the face of boxing. So, and he got the numbers up there with Ryan. He's legit. So Haney, the reason why that fight is not going to happen because they don't want to put themselves in the same position they was with Kambosos. And I don't think Tank would do that to a sense, but they're not going to be in control when it comes to Tank. So that fight is out the window. That's going to be a fight where people were saying, hey, man, Haney, when he was at 35, he should have fought Tank back in the day, but he didn't. He ducked him. You know what I'm saying? That fight ain't going to happen because it's just not going to happen, man. They trying to get the bag, and but yet they taking it out on somebody who's an innocent bystander. You're trying to take it out on Shakur Stevenson, what was done to you. That's just like, they say with abusive relationship, hurt people. So you've been hurt in negotiations. So you want to basically return the favor to somebody who has nothing to do with your negotiations with Kambosos. I get it, man. Some of them guys just got to switch it up. It's all about if they're willing to, Blunts. I agree with you, bro. They got to switch it up. Words that you might want to know. You got to be able to switch it up. And at this point right now, I don't think they're willing to switch it up. I don't believe they feel that it's a reason why they should switch it up. Seriously. Shout out to Lisa Bells. Thanks for the Cash App donations there, Lisa. Much respect to the OG. And that's another person that's been around the block in this YTC game on these panels for a long period of time. Much respect to Lisa Bells for the donation. Real talk. I appreciate you. One love. Yeah, W says, I got to tell you about that. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's why, I'm just not like, what I'm saying? I dropped a link in there. I give it 5 minutes. I'm not a link person, but I'm trying to do better as I get back into the groove. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to. Man, it's 12 o'clock. Oh shit. Damn, I didn't know it was that late. That motherfucker went by quick. Jeez, man, why y'all didn't tell me it was 12:08? I'm older than a motherfucker, man. Goddamn. Jeez, man, it's 12:08 up in this mother. God dang, man. I did not know it was that late up in here, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. No wonder people hesitant about clicking the link over here. They say, dang, man, he might, it's late in the AM. Shoot, he might fall asleep in this joint. But let's see what happened, man. Let's see what happened with this situation. It's just, truth be told, I ain't gonna lie to you, like, to see July 29th play out, I kind of told myself, like, I invested time in these topics because it was entertaining. It it was very recreational to come on here and talk about, Errol Spence and Crawford. It still is, especially the beating that he took, right? But when it comes to whatever's going on right now, you know what I'm saying, with this back and forth, yes, it's good for TV and social media and all that, but in reality, it's garbage, man. This shit is trash. Because if you got people out here talking about we want to see the best fighters fight the best fight the best and all this other shit, like collectively on the YTC, why can't we start dialing it in and doing shit to make these fights happen? We're basically putting in all this effort, and it's not even getting us any closer to the negotiation table to convince these promotions to. Yeah, we got articles being written that will highlight some of the freaking content creators. Cool. But I haven't really seen anything that basically underlines a promotion giving credit to the YTC for making this fight happen. You know what I'm saying? Even whatever numbers and dialogue that's being exchanged between Bill Haney and whoever the case may be, right? He still isn't the boss when it comes to him walking in the office with Top Rank and Bob Arum. It's only going to be so much that he can get. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to be so much that can be spoken on that whoever, whoever it is, you know what I'm saying? Brad Goodman, whoever the case is, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be the shakers and movers in this fight. It's not going to be just walking up in there and then this is what I want. Give it to me, take it or leave it. No, it's not going to happen like that with Top Rank, bro. So all these numbers is being talked about up here. You still have to run it past the big dog. You know what I'm saying? The Dun Dada, the flagship of promotions. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevens is still signed with Top Rank. So they still have to take that avenue of approach. Real talk. Shit, Jessica said steer earlier. Where you working at? You know what I'm saying? Shit. Hey, at one point in time, I would have said the same exact thing, man. It's 12, man. And the club don't even start jumping to 1 o'clock down in the A. I ain't gonna lie. It's like, man, the club don't start jumping to 1 o'clock. I mean, people don't really get to the club till 11:45, man. 11:30, 11:45, 12, man. They pulling up to the club, dog. That's when the clubs didn't close until 7 o'clock in the morning. They stayed open all night long. Now we know things have changed. What they say? And just the good old days. Them was the good old days. Cam said work, otherwise I would slide in and cook with your OG. No doubt, no doubt. Appreciate you, Cam. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the apostles on deck, man. Yes, sir. Okay, the graveyard shift, no doubt. I know what that's like. I used to work shift work damn near 11 years of my career. I worked shift work. Yeah, about 11 years. Didn't know what a weekend was consistently. But it's all good. You got to get it where you get it. But consciously, hey, what I want y'all to do is continue to be smart. You know what I'm saying? Don't let yourself get congested with this bullshit, y'all. This stuff is toxic on here, bro. And I ain't here to be I ain't here trying to talk to you as like an unemployed life coach and shit. A motherfucking unqualified therapist. You know what I'm saying? A Walmart volunteer. Yeah, we have a psychiatrist back there. Yeah, you'll see him. He has all that the Marine Corps retired shit on. Yeah, he's gonna talk to you about some things that may be going on in your life. Yeah, he's a volunteer. So, if you listen to him, you do. Take what you want and trash what else. He should be a greeter, but goddamn, he was talking too much to the goddamn patrons that was coming in. But don't get congested off this, man. This shit is toxic. For real. You take it for entertainment value, but goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? Shakur saying he's gonna slap him when he see him. That can go wrong very, very badly. And like we've heard it before, that type of talk We heard it before. I don't foresee anybody getting slapped, man. You know what I'm saying? But they do need to make it happen official. Sign a contract to get inside the square, because we're not gonna boost this shit up for 4 years, 3 to 4 years and shit. And these fighters are at 140. They're now at 140 and they still ain't fought each other. I mean, come on, bro. But at the end of the day, the Haneys are gonna have people talking about, like, what are you gonna do at 140? I told people Shakur is gonna be a champion at 140. He's a champion at 140. Now, what's next? I told him I put it out there. I say T.O. needs to go ahead and move up. No, I said Devin at the time. I said Devin needs to go ahead and move up. If he wins the belts, vacate the belts and move up before Teofimo Lopez. I was speculating if he gets a shot at the belt, and so Teo can be in chase, in pursuit. But now 1/4 of the champion at 140 is Teofimo Lopez. So with the other three, let's exclude Rolly Romero. We don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. So 2 of the real champions, Subriel Matias and Regis Prograis, will be good fights for anybody that's moving up. What about Haney fighting Subriel Matias? He gonna say, oh, he ain't a big name, but he's a champion. He can fight. Prograis, he's a 2-time champion. Why that fight can't happen? Y'all trying to lowball him? I mean, come on, bro. Y'all might as well just fight Rolly. They might just go in there and fight Rolly, bro. I know for a fact you can outbox Rolly. Go scoop up that WBA title, man. Goddamn, shit. Oh, that shit down, man. We should do it again. Like I said, I'm trying to get back in the groove of things, at the end of the day. Trying to get back in the groove of things. We should do this tomorrow. And big shout out and salute to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-Side official. You already know how we do it. Y'all hold it down. Salute. Hit the like button on your way out. Peace.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars, should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, subscribe.